keep it, not keep it, can we give it to Tara?
You give it to Tara,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
So you
recording
gonna take
and
minutes
we're
in?
streaming.
I can,
You
yeah.
can, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you say we're on?
Yes. They've
Okay.
done some new things with this, and we don't have to have a laptop or anything. We're just going to be streaming through the Jennings County government YouTube channel, and it's already hooked up.
Okay, good.
All right, I guess roll call. Tara is out sick, so everybody else is here. Okay, we got a approval from the minutes of the last meeting. Need a motion.
Motion, to be approved.
I'll second it. Okay.
Want to vote on?
All right, I know we got mowings on here, ordinance to talk about, but from the last board meeting, Mark and I met out there at the animal control, went over some stuff that needs to be done. And I've called Shane with the commissioner and Boswell, and he said that yes, they are going to come out and pour concrete where the dumpster sits, and they're gonna add gravel. They're swamped right now. It has been on the books. He did turn it over to Josh Yeager, and he said if we don't have anything done by Labor Day, for me to call him back, as far as if Josh comes in contact with you. He might not have the work completed by then or started, but he is to come and visit with you. And I told him Mark's idea for out back, what he wanted to do there, to dig that out, where we spread the concrete off and put tubes down. So you can talk to Josh about that. And the county's doing all this. We're not going to have to do anything on our end. And he said he apologized a dozen times for not being able to get to it yet, but they've been trying to do their own bridges, so they haven't had the crews to come and help us. But he said if nothing happens, then the week after Labor Day, I'm to contact him back around Labor Day.
And Josh already has been out, probably 2 weeks ago. He
Was
came
it?
out and he spread the gravel, so everything's kind of even. And when I was talking to him, I was telling him how I don't want the concrete, because then how are we going to depend on Rumpke to always get it on the concrete?
Oh, they will. No, they will get it on the
They
concrete.
will.
I promise you. And they would rather have it on concrete
Okay,
because they ask for that everywhere.
okay,
Everything. So if you've got a concrete pad, then, and if they don't put it on the concrete pad, you can call me and I can get a hold of Rumpke. I deal
Okay.
with them quite often.
okay.
So, but they will put it on the pad. And it'd be better that way. We don't have any ruts and we don't have a, chance for mosquitoes, because it's just a mess. But anyway, when Josh comes back out, show him what you want done out back, and then we'll take care of it.
Hello, essential services, right?
No,
Animal control.
animal control.
Oh, I'm sorry, I should have looked right here.
So anyway, and if Josh does come out, if you don't mind, you can get a hold of one of us. And because, I think Mark should ought to be out there too, maybe when he shows up. Because I know they'll have ideas, we got ideas too, so we just want to make sure it's done the way we want it. But just let us know when he's planning on being there,
Okay.
or sometime we can meet him separate and stuff before he starts. That'd be good.
And we talked about the fencing too, didn't we?
Yes, we discussed some fence stuff there. I think if we get in there, we can get that all cleaned up
And that needs to be done first.
and then we can come there and take some
We'll
quotes
get
on
with
doing some
Michelle.
fencing.
See where she wants the fencing
Right.
exactly. Or what.
Yeah.
And then the mowing, I think it'll go right into the mowing, because however we set up that fence could determine some of the mowing banks as well, because you either have to have a bigger gate to let a bigger mower through, like the first gate, if you divide
Right.
that, or you quoted to have a push mower go in just the back side and have a smaller door. It's all according to which way you think will work the best. I know it's hard to keep dogs in, the bigger the gate, the harder the thing is, and then if you have a big gate, it has to be out in the yard, which out in the yard, the dogs want to dig under it, you have to put concrete under the big gate. So is it worth that, or can we just push mow that part and put a small, that'd be something that Michelle and whoever can work out and decide what they feels best. And
So anyway, it sounds like we're gonna get something done, but at least the commissioners are aware of it. There's issues there, and they know that they will get it addressed as soon as they get done with these bridges. And I guess, has anybody got anything else based on old business that you want to discuss?
Well, I think we were talking about the mowing, and I don't know if we should even go into the quotes until we get the other quote. But also, how does the county handle all the other buildings? Is everybody in charge of their own mowing? Is it, that's something that I've always questioned.
Fox does a lot of.
Who mows the courthouse? Who mows this building? Who mows the jail?
community service.
So why aren't they doing ours?
Exactly.
That's my question is, we've been relying on volunteers to help with sponsorships. We've been relying on volunteers to help with mowing. We've been relying on volunteers for everything. And I think it's time we start relying on the county to take care of their department.
I agree.
So, especially after a recent conversation, I feel that, it's one of those deals that, our budget, if we know we need it in the budget and they say you need to take care of your own mowing, then we have it. We don't have it in our budget, We can't have the place looking bad. We can't have it tall grass for animals. Like we've had multiple people volunteering, and you can't thank them enough for doing that. But at some point, we need to put it back on the county. If it's going to be our responsibility as a department, we need to put it in our budget. If
Right.
it's not, then we need to ask them to do to animal control what they're afforded the services of every other county building.
Yeah.
That's my stance on it.
And I don't know how much Fox does, but I can tell you, our department runs the community service work crew, and they're so limited.
I
And so,
understand.
we've gotten guys out there a few times when he has extra people and we know it needs to be done, but all that, like, if they're not on the schedule.
But is that always like we use them at the golf course too? And the
Mhm.
one thing I said is I love using it for like a cleanup or something.
Mhm.
But something that has to be every week and is reliable. And,
Right.
and
And
I
no.
don't think that's what it's for.
No, it's not, and it can't be because in the summer, they're always doing the courthouse.
Right.
And they do that, they do the cemeteries, and so a lot of people, you gotta realize, don't even show up.
Right.
You try to get them scheduled, you don't know who's showing up, and so it's just how many people you have at that time, and where you can place them and what you can get done.
I know. Again, just going back on the city days, my city days was we advertised it out and we took care of certain areas. But as far as budgetary standpoints for our facility at the animal control, if they say, hey, that's on you, you need to add that in your budget, we need to make sure to get a line item added for that, because I'm looking at the budget, we don't have it in there to mow, and we shouldn't rely on, you guys aren't gonna go out there and mow, you shouldn't have to do that.
We have.
I know you have, and that's what I'm saying, that shouldn't be as limited as we are already, you shouldn't be pushing a mower out there. So, I don't know how, who we ask about that, is that through commissioners, is that through county council, we just send something out to find out?
Can we
Who's
ask
res-
Fox? Can we ask Fox?
If he'll do it.
No, not if he'll do
Oh.
it, but if he has someone that will do it. For any of the other, I guess I don't know who does who does like the health department.
I would just kind of like to know from a budget standpoint that we don't get painted in where we're having to spend out of our budget that we didn't have allocated for it. But, what do they expect out of us?
Right.
Because we have building maintenance, but that's not mowing. It's not what we have in there, so.
I know, because even recently Fox had sent me a text wondering if we had money in our budget for gravel, and he told me how much, like 300 for, I can't even remember how many tons, but I'm like, well, is the commissioners going to pay for that? Because it shouldn't be us, it should be them making their buildings better.
Well, and I think, you know, long term, we know that going into building and maintenance, we do have some upkeep that we probably need to start adding in that isn't, you know, and maybe that is refreshing the gravel. But I think we need to figure out that that is the case and start budgeting for those items. Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna budget for them and then it's gonna get kicked back, why'd your budget raise so much?
Yeah,
Then we're gonna have something come back, say, well, you're wanting us to mow, you're wanting us to put gravel, and we never have done that before, so we need to budget for that. And I'm fine with that, as long as we know that. I just, you know, I mean, do we got $3,000 in the budget to mow that yard? We don't. I mean, that's 10% of our operating budget as a whole.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe, and I never know who needs to send these emails, so I didn't want to, like, I could send one to Dave and those guys, say, hey, you know, or commissioners or however, or NAD can, or you can, as long as somebody does, I'm not sure. Find out what their expectations are of us, and then we go from there.
yeah. Yeah, because even like the snow seasons, nobody ever plows our property. We just have to drive through the snow, and people have to walk through it too.
Right. Now, is that something that we need to add in our budget, or is that in the
Right.
county budget, they take care of the county buildings? So,
Problem is you get gravel.
Yeah,
It's hard to push gravel, you know, the snow and gravel, so you just end up plowing it all off the side. It needs to be done, you can come in there with a skid loader and clean it up better than you could with a truck. Plus it's a small area. But, yeah,
yeah, 'cause last year Kelly, her vehicle got stuck, so
right.
I made a whole bunch of phone calls and Josh Yeager came out and,
Yeah, that's what I said, that's something the county should come by and take care of, with a piece of equipment, not a truck.
right. And I'm not gonna say the city wouldn't help out doing that being right next door. I don't wanna
Yeah, the
speak for
city might be
them.
able to, yeah, I don't know what the city has as far as equipment.
Oh, I mean, they got all the
They got,
stairs
they
and
got
stuff,
everything,
yeah.
yeah.
But, you know, I don't wanna speak for them. I just think we need to figure out what that expectation is, you know,
Well, if we-
as a department.
Maybe we could, I'll call Shane and see if he'll let us know how to take care of the mowing. And then maybe we can talk to Sean or the city
And if you
council.
can email them
See
versus
if
call,
he'll just
I
help
like,
us with the snow removal. You know, if the county will pick up the mowing, maybe the city, since they're right there, I
yeah.
don't know, with the skid steer, at least knock it down enough to get in and out of.
And I just like, I mean, me personally, it's just, I'm sure you're saying through a business standpoint,
Oh, yeah.
phone calls are great, but I always like to follow up with an email, because that way
Oh,
when
yeah,
something
sure.
happens, we're like, well, I mean, we didn't budget it, because right here it says that you guys were gonna do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if they say budget it, I don't feel like it's a problem to budget it, we just don't know.
Yeah, I don't, do we have Shane or anybody's emails? You got the
Yeah,
commissioners?
they're all on, yeah.
You got all those? You wanna put it, send an email, copy all of us on it and send it to the commissioners, asking about the mowing?
I mean, am I thinking that wrong, or how do you?
I
because
agree with you 100%.
From the previous, you guys have always tried to just get by, getting it mowed, right? I mean, there's never been a set plan, there's never been a mower, there's never been a budget for it.
yeah, no, we've always just did what we can to take care of
So I guess my recommendation would be tabling the,
Yeah, I agree, I don't think it needs
tabling
to be
the
read.
quotes for mowing until we get some more clarification.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so Trent's made a motion to table the mowing until further notice. And a second.
I think the snow removal is very important, even though, you know,
It is.
because your animals are in there hungry, and you're relying on somebody like a worker that we say we rotate weekends. So, and that person's gotta try to get through whatever 24 inches of snow to get in there to them hungry animals, and as a tax-paying county facility, you know, you need to have access to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I can second that motion.
Okay.
We need to vote on it. You wanna do a vote on that, Ned?
So all in favor of tabling,
Aye.
unanimous? Okay, so I guess the next question then would be the snow removal side of it. What do we So we want to send that.
So, I mean, we can ask, you know, as a goodwill gesture to the city, if
To see
they
if they-
would,
Okay.
you know, just do the parking lot while they're right next door doing the,
Right.
count, or the city garage. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, not block our
Yeah.
driveway to the road.
I just know it's tough. You need somebody who's used to that
Yeah.
because of the gravel. And then again, they gotta know what they're doing too.
Yeah.
Just
So
'cause
even
that's
with
the-
that,
Just leave it up a little bit.
that's just the only county facility out right there.
Right,
So,
I
you
know.
know, it'd just be nice if they can just come next door and do that.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, next. Okay, I guess we'll move on to the ordinance. I know we had several things going back and forth.
Yeah, when I first got the ordinance, from Alex, there was a section in there where the city was trying to limit the city from, they can only have 3 dogs. So I basically said that I won't enforce that, because I don't think that people should limit how many animals they have, just because, I mean, we can limit people if they have violations and they're not, you know, following the care that they should be, but not just limit it to everybody. But I don't know that that
It was taken
is
out.
in any of the other ones anymore. And then there was a couple things. So I don't know which one they're going with, because there was
It's the one
this-
Alex
the-
sent us.
The smaller one where they coded it, or it's the,
He, on that email, he stated which one it was. It was the one that's 31 pages, or 26 out of 26 pages.
6 pages.
Yeah. So there's no ordinance
So-
that got in there.
So the one, he would have gave us the one that we gave him, highlighted on that email.
Yes.
He gave us the one with the most, or the recent version of the codified ordinance, and then what our current ordinance is, which I didn't print our current ordinance, because we've already went through it and made changes on this, but that's why whenever you were talking about that one, I never saw that one, but I seen where you sent it. So I thought, you know, it'd kind of muddy the waters even bringing that in, talking about it, when that one is not even on the table from the commissioners. And I wish they'd put revision numbers up there so we could tell, since they're going through making these revisions, but that's why I sent that email, just asking for the most current version so we can discuss it.
Yeah, so I kind of went through it, like I said before, like when there's all these words, my brain starts scattering and I can't focus. But they took out like the false informing, so we won't be able to violate anyone that lies to us and says it's a stray, when really we find out that it's their dog, we have to turn it over to the police departments, which, I mean, that's not something that they're gonna really have time to follow up on, because there's more important things. They took out all our after-hours emergency
Yeah.
calls.
Do you remember what page that was, Michelle?
It was towards the back for us.
So I've read that one too, and I agree that needed either the word emergency or during normal working hours. Possibly a combination of both of those words.
Yeah, so on page 24. Because it says, calls for assistance of an animal control officer outside of business hours shall be made through the Jennings County 911 dispatch. The animal control officer or the animal control employees shall respond to a call for assistance the same day the call for assistance was made. So they're completely taken out of emergency calls. So this is basically, like when I emailed them back, I'm like, so this is me on the clock 24/7, and I don't even get compensated for being out there after hours, and now they're basically saying that I'm going to respond to everything.
So I think we try to make a revision on that and see if they'll accept it, and just basically say the animal control officer or animal control employee shall respond to an emergency call for assistance the same day.
Right, because then ours actually, what we had put, it actually also then says what an emergency call is. They can't just say it's an emergency and I have to go.
Right,
It's only what we say is an emergency.
right. So, I mean, I agree with that, and I almost think there needs to be another line added that the animal control officer shall respond to the call the same day during working hours,
Right.
or an emergency call the same day after working hours. So,
Well, sort of. So, I mean, like, if a call comes in at like 3:30, we're gonna push that the next day.
unless it's emergency. Oh,
Yeah,
you're saying
Like
working.
during
Yeah,
your
yeah, I'm with
working
you.
hours, there's
Yeah.
some that
Yeah.
we're just gonna push to the next day,
Yeah.
because if it doesn't come in at a certain amount of time, then we're not gonna go, because then we're gonna get into comp time, because it's gonna take, that much longer.
And I think by illustrating to them why we need to make these changes, and maybe that's something we have to get in front of them and tell them that. Right now, it's just words on paper, and I think as they read it, they might, they don't have that dialogue that we're having about it, so.
Yeah.
I definitely think the word emergency needs to be in there, attached to the same day response.
And in the definitions, maybe emergency call and the emergency call being defined. So when
Yeah,
somebody
that's a good
reads
idea.
the thing and sees emergency call on that one, they know that the
Well, and that's what we
definitions.
have a section where we had made what constitutes as after hours call. It's in a section, but they pulled it out for theirs that they.
We put it either by that or in the front where it says, whatever, dog, all the definitions, so that you know what we're talking about when we use the language.
Yeah. And then I think, what's this?
I definitely had one on page 9. Remember when we discussed the first paragraph? It says, any part-time employees or
Oh,
animal
yes.
control shall keep track of work on forms prescribed by the county auditor. The animal control board shall be responsible for submitting part-time employees' time work to the county auditor. We will not be doing that. We just physically would not be able to do that. They're saying that Evan's time, we would be the ones submitting the hours, not Michelle.
How would we know?
And how would we know, and how would we do it every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So I think that needs to go back to the animal control officer shall be responsible for submitting part-time employees' time work to county auditor, and then add something possibly in per the discretion of the board, because I think what they're doing is they're wanting to make sure we don't get over on our part-time hours, which I get that. But I think, we start monitoring where we're at, and maybe as we start getting closer, we just direct you to start backing down hours or whatever it is, but we just physically can't do that every 2 weeks. There's no way. So, and that's the way you're doing it now, right? You're submitting the hours.
Yeah, it's payroll, it's all together, so I don't know why they would separate it. So I would still do mine and the other officers, but then not the part-time.
Isn't that in the county policy that you're responsible?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't understand.
So
why
it
that
is
would
in
be
the
different.
county
Yeah.
policy, even on part-time.
Department head, yeah.
Yeah, the
that's
department
payroll.
head.
Okay, so this can just be per county ordinance, or per county handbook,
Yeah,
employee
because I was
handbook.
gonna say, that's, the department head is responsible for everyone in their
Okay.
department.
You have, sorry to say you had another one. I was just going back to that one I remembered before I forgot it.
Yeah, when they had switched back the 500 limit, if they don't want it 1,000.
Oh, I thought it was 1,000 in there still.
No, I saw where it was,
Okay, it's 1,000 too, that's.
I thought it said 1,000.
unless it was one of the other ones that they messed up on. This one says 1,000.
Yeah, I see. I've never seen that other one, so I definitely remember seeing that 1,000. I say some of the notable things were, we talk about kennel license, inside city limits and inside the town of Vernon, those all have to be approved
By them, right?
by them.
Mhm.
I would assume by you and by them, right?
Well, probably a mixture,
Yeah,
like maybe someone like go to them to get the approval, and then I'd have to go and then approve of the structure that.
Or maybe they go to you,
or
yeah.
something.
They did change the 3 to 5 days hold to 3 business days, which helps us if we get an animal on a Friday. It wouldn't be Sunday, it'd be Tuesday. It'd be the 3 business days.
Which, so when I was thinking about that, so the 3 business days, so then they don't get charged for that Sunday?
Well, I don't know about that. I think it says it became property of the county,
Okay.
right? I don't think it's talked about any charges. I just think it was language in there to say, you know, we had it up in the air, was it 3 days or was it 5 days? And we did that for, the buffer was in there for the weekend, and it made it a lot more black and white if it was just business days. But I don't think it had anything to do with the charge on that,
Okay.
on the
We're
whole.
still feeding them on Saturday and
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, and I think it was just basically before it came property of the county.
Right. It gives an owner a chance to get their dog if they do care.
And so like, so the false informing, I mean, is that just,
I didn't
we
pay
just
attention.
try and hand that over to the city?
It's not.
I mean, because then technically we're in city limits, so it'd be a city problem, right? Even though we're a county entity, I don't know how that would work.
I mean, none of them are gonna be able to deal with
No,
false
they're not,
informing
exactly.
a stray animal. And then on the other side of that, if we find out they've done that, our only thing is to issue them a citation, right?
Right,
Which is still not enforceable, other than if they don't pay a citation,
it's,
goes
Yeah.
on tax roll, I mean, basically.
it's a judgment, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to, I would like to have kept that in there. I mean, I'd like for Alex to have something in there for that, because that's our biggest issue is, I found this dog, you go back and look, and they've had pictures
Trying to rehome it.
trying to rehome it, and they just dropped off to get away paying the
the surrender
fee.
fees, Yeah.
Yeah, so it's what, $50 for a surrender fee, 8 weeks old and younger, and $100 that is 9 weeks old and older.
Yeah, so for a litter, and they get to, they'll kind of get to decide themselves how much they're willing to pay for it to live or die.
Yeah,
Even though we more than likely won't be killing it, we'll still put it up for adoption, but we'll put it in their hands, so they have to decide how much the animal's worth to them.
right.
Because then that money will then follow that animal. I mean, it'll be a little bit harder for like the litter, because the litter is a smaller amount, and then there's more to a litter, but that money will follow that animal and then go towards the spaying and neutering, and so then could make the fee lower for the adoption.
And I think maybe we, you know, kind of piggybacking on all this, we put something out on the Facebook page and stuff saying why we decided to up these fees and do this, and it's that we're trying to get animals out, and this will help,
Yeah.
you know, with the spaying and neutering of the animal.
Yeah, I'd say the odds go up. We don't know exactly maybe what the odds are, but the odds will definitely go up when a dog's been spayed or neutered in her care.
Yeah. So those were the changes I saw. Was one that you should be doing the part-time hours, not us. We want emergency in there for same-day call response. And then, what was the other one? What was the last one? Oh, we wanted to try to get back into the language, the false informant.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Or see if Alex could give us maybe a reason why they took it out. I mean, if there's a.
I was trying to look to see, for some reason I thought I saw something about false informing, but it may.
So the false
Yeah, it says
informing,
false informing of a violation of this chapter may be referred to law enforcement for investigation. So they're taking out of our hands and giving it to LEOs.
we did have a fee associated with it, right? Or we
Yeah,
had
it
a-
still says that if a person who violates the section commits a Class B ordinance violation, but they've taken it out of our hands and are giving it, forcing city or county to have to follow up with it. That's at the top of page 17.
Okay.
So now we want that to be. Animal control, we want that to be. Reach.
And then I think they're also taking cities right away to have chickens as well.
I think that was in the city ordinance.
So
Anyways.
they added it in ours.
Because I know there was conversation when I was on about having chickens in city limits and it was voted down there, so maybe that's why they just put it into there.
Well, what,
And I might be wrong on that,
I mean, I'm kind of confused, but I mean, it looks like you're a foul.
but it says in the city can't have, there's something that says in the city you cannot have livestock.
Yeah, it's not permitted within city limits.
But then you could have that, it just has to be approved by the city council, is what I
Where you
was
see
reading.
that?
Let's see, where was it?
The city of North Vernon and livestock right there,
Right,
unlawful.
Yeah, because it used to, in ours, it used to say that they could have it, but they'd have to get it approved first.
right.
Right, I
Because the way
think,
I wrote it is to where they have to come to you guys to get approval, but then when somebody tried to go to a meeting, they're like, no, the animal control officer can approve that.
Well, then number two kind of contradicts, because it says it shall be unlawful for any person owner keep more than 15 whole
but I
that's
think this
that's
is county. This is all county ordinance and
And then
then
they're just adding that one
they're
part of
carving
the city?
city out of it. And
Yeah.
then basically this continues
Okay.
on for the county.
Okay,
Because when I was on council, I remember talking with you guys about ordinance, redoing the ordinance. And it was stated that you guys, now us, animal control will put in there, will join whatever the city's ordinance is on the animal control side. So maybe that's just a housekeeping thing, because I know in the city's ordinance, they said you could not have livestock in the city. And maybe just to clean it up, they put it in here because it's already in theirs.
Yeah, because when I had it in there was that they could have chickens, not other livestock, but just
Right.
chickens.
But we had somebody wanting chickens and came to the council and it was an ordinance. They couldn't do it due to the ordinance. You know, it was in the city ordinance already. So I think by it not being in here, they might have done that as a housekeeping thing, just to say,
I know, but I'm just interested to see if they changed some of that, because I thought for sure, and obviously maybe it was in the old
and
ordinance,
they might have.
but that you could
Yeah,
have
this
chicken,
one,
yeah,
this
you
new
could
one
have
that
them
they're
within
doing,
the.
they're completely taking.
Are you
away.
talking the city ordinance or the?
I mean, I thought you could have the chickens in the city limits, you could have under a certain number.
Okay, maybe when I was there, you could not, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
because in our ordinance it was 6. So I had put it in my ordinance to where a city could have it, but they can only have up to 6.
Okay,
And that's when I went to I didn't go to Vernon because they never would schedule me. They just said whatever the county, the commissioners went with that or okay with. But I went to a city meeting and went and got this ordinance approved through them as well.
So do we
But
want,
now, this new one, city doesn't even want people to have chickens in city limits in our animal control ordinance. Because before I had put it in there so that they could, because I think they should be able to.
yeah, I'm really,
If they're feeding their families, they're, not just to Well, and even because where I grew up in Arizona, it was during 4-H season, even city limits could have livestock, like a calf they could have in city limits, but only during the 4-H season. And so I was trying to add it in here to where, so city could also partake in 4-H.
I just think it's hard for, we're gonna have to abide by what the city ordinance is, the county ordinance, and then ours, and it's all gonna mesh together. I think from their standpoint, these lots by city ordinance have to be 10,000 square feet in size, so you got a lot of lots that are 10,000 square feet. And usually when you're looking at city, the lots are a lot bigger, what you're visually seeing, but a true 10,000 square foot lot is, not a whole lot bigger than right through here. So I think they came together as council to do their ordinance codification, and they put that stuff in there. So what they don't want to do is have us say, hey, you can have them, when they're like, no, you can't have them. And I'm not saying you can't, they might have changed that again.
I don't know, I'll have to find out.
And we want to change, again, page 24 to emergency. And then, on the same day call, I don't know. This would be a lot different if we had, full staff, we didn't get in trouble,
Right.
with our salary for having comp time and.
Well, we've got an SOP that we wrote, 5 years ago?
Yeah, in this, even in this ordinance, we've changed it just a little bit, so because the way it worded, the city, or the officers can just request us, and then
Right.
we can come out, and then it'd be nothing.
Exactly.
So the way this is written is what we were kind of going with, so that not even officers can pull us out for, say an aggressive dog, but it's like 9 times out of 10, one, they're not aggressive when I get there, or 2, the dog's not even there because nobody has eyes on it. I just go out there looking for nothing, and then I'm gotta head 30 minutes back home, because usually it's CSL, and it takes me 30 minutes to get there. So just drive time alone, it's pointless for me to have to go out for an aggressive dog, especially when nobody has eyes on it.
So
Well, I
guess-
think so what determines, in mine, after hours, it would be dispatch, the police or sheriff's department gets dispatched for a call, right? And if they determine, hey, there's aggressive dog, we need to do something, that's, to me, is the emergency call.
Which in nine times out of 10, it's they're calling me out because they're busy to go then deal with it, but then I get there and there's nothing there.
Right.
So, and that's why we're kind of putting a stop to the aggressive calls, because it's an hour there, back, and then nothing is there.
Well, I think that's something we gotta watch too, though, just because if we get called to an aggressive call and we don't do anything, and then the dog is truly aggressive and bites somebody or does somebody, so I don't know how to find that.
That, I know, and that's because we had kind of worded it to where a city or county goes out there to verify it.
That's what
And
Right.
then,
That's the way it's in the SOP.
That's what I assumed.
but
That's-
then that doesn't happen.
Right.
They're pushing it when they have a lot of other things going on. And then there's no one to verify, and then there's nobody there keeping an eye on the dog, so then I get there and there's no issue. Or the dog's not even aggressive if I get there and I'm pulling in a friendly dog.
Yeah.
Because somebody claimed it was aggressive, and that's where we tried to have the police verify, yes, this dog needs picked up because it's an issue.
And I don't think we're trying to say that the police officers need to become an animal control officer,
No,
but I also feel, like you said, there's one of you,
yes.
and to get a call all the time on that with no verification, or could be nothing, or in the area, I don't know how we deal with it. I don't know. I think we can't just ignore it. That's the other issue is, how do we do it if they say, hey, there's in city limits where there's populated right there, there's aggressive dog roaming around.
Yeah, I usually, when dispatch tries to call me, and I'll ask them, well, is an officer out there waiting for me or not? So, no, they're not there. I'm like, okay, well, I can't go because there's nobody to verify.
Right.
Or I'll ask, does somebody have eyes on the dog? No. A couple weeks ago, they called me out for a dog tried to bite somebody 2:30 in the morning, and I'm getting ready, I'm going out, and I'm listening to the radio, and the dog has taken off, and I'm still driving because I can't stop and disregard until they disregard me, and I'm going and going and going, and they don't have eyes on the dog anymore. Finally, they call and disregard me, but it's just, I don't know, it's hard to decide which ones I go to, which ones I don't, because then if the dogs live in the area anyways, I mean, they can't keep following it.
Who's at the park at 2:30?
I know, I'm the only person who lives there.
There's no baseball game going on.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, just as suggested, I would take the SOP that we wrote, verify it with this, and send it to them, and tell them this is what we have voted on in the past,
Mhm.
and now you're wanting to change something that has been working,
Right.
and see where that gets you.
How is that one next?
There you go.
The email will do.
Okay, thanks. Welcome.
Okay, anybody got anything else on the ordinance?
When are they say when they're voting on this?
No. They were going to put it in the next meeting, and I said not to, because we needed to go over it first.
So I've highlighted the key few things we just talked about, those few, and maybe if we go back and read it, and if there's anything else, we do a few email things, but I think sooner than later, by the end of this week, we need to have this back to Alex before they do anything.
Yeah.
One thing I thought about with the chicken is we don't have no wording about a rooster.
Yeah, there was. I think there was, I thought it said you could only have one
Two.
rooster, two roosters.
No more
Well,
than
that,
two
yeah, that was
roosters.
all like out in the county.
Yeah,
Well, the city can't have any, right?
I know how we went through the dog kennel thing and got all that, and I just see that in the city limits, a rooster, somebody could have the same complaint as a noise as you would for a dog bark. Sometimes them roosters can get pretty loud, if they live pretty close, and they do it early in the morning. I figured we could, and maybe that's why they did some of that changing in the city ordinance, so that they didn't get in that same boat again.
did you see, I mean, am I reading that wrong though? That one part where it can be approved by city council.
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably left it open at the
Right,
city
that's what I'm
council.
just
If they
saying.
change it, then
Or they
this
can
could
approve.
change.
And that was our ordinance, the animal control ordinance, that we've been
This
going
is on
off
page
of.
17, number 1. I mean, it says any unlawful for any person to own or keep any livestock animal in the city of North Vernon or town of Vernon unless permitted by the North Vernon Common Council or Vernon Town Council. So, I mean, there's that, the unless, it gives them the ability to,
I think it's, yeah. It
It's
puts
open.
it back in the
Yes,
city's
there's,
hands.
yeah,
So it's restricting it on, you know, it's a violation until it's approved, I think.
mhm. I guess I just want to make clear, we're not saying like, if that's something that has to be approved by the city. It's not
Yes,
animal control.
I agree with that, yeah.
Tara needs to get back here.
So I think we can probably read through it and send any changes that we've already got them noted, right? That we need to send Alex.
Yep. So you'll take what you've already marked up and
I'll send it to,
send it to all of us?
just to make sure
Yeah.
that I captured
That's
what
it.
was on there, yeah.
Sure, yeah, okay. And we want all that approved no later than Thursday?
I think whenever, we just don't want them voting on it until we had a chance. We don't want the commissioners
Right.
voting on
Yeah,
what's
so
there.
far we're not on the agenda.
As long as we're not on the agenda, I think we're okay. So before the commissioners would, maybe, when's the next commissioners meeting?
Every 2 weeks? Is it every 2? I can't
Maybe
remember.
every 2
Because we'll
weeks.
probably have to give Alex a little bit of time, so,
That's why I was wondering if you had a
Hopefully.
decision by,
yeah,
and send it to Alex by Friday.
yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we discussed the changes that need made, was verify that we captured what was discussed, and
All right, anything else you got?
No, she brought me the,
Okay.
she was off yesterday and I have wanted her to send the
budget,
budget.
yeah.
So I
So
guess
this
this will be
is-
part of the next item will be the department head update.
Yeah, so I mean, our laundry cleaning is 0. We still have the other supplies that, where I can get Walmart stuff, and that's at $1193.70. And I'll email what she sent so that you guys can see it. I still need to order more euthanasia medicine just so we can get that restocked. And
How-
use that line item.
I was listening to the county council meeting online, and I seen that they did approve the additional appropriation for our,
And that's not in here yet.
that's not in, for that part-time budget.
Yes.
Basically, where we had that discussion about the $18 an hour, and they cut our hours, yeah, so did they give us everything to bring that back to where it was before the part-time raise was? Because I didn't hear what the dollar amount was.
So, yeah, because I wrote it on the letter that I sent them.
Okay,
It's 7,000 or 8,000.
I think it was, yeah, they did say that. I didn't hear a true dollar amount, but we had like 1,700 hours originally, and then it got bumped down to 1,000 hours by the time you added that in, so as long as we got dropped back up to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and then I don't know who needs tires more right now, but I will, where's our motor vehicle, so we're at 934.11 in motor vehicle, so one of us will get new tires,
And we only have 1,500 in that budget?
yes.
Yeah, we need to start making notes on this, and maybe we'll see it our next budget, but, you know, those tires, I mean, they're gonna be $1,200 for a set of tires,
Just there.
and that takes up our whole motor vehicle fund.
Yeah.
Now, can any of this be used out of the CUME fund? Are we able to, I know we don't wanna tap into that, we're trying to use that as needed.
The non-reverting,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess whatever is approved, you
Sure.
guys is what we
Would
can
have to-
use, but,
I mean, cause the non-reverting turns into accumulated
yes.
on the fund, and then,
So you-
But it's also one of those things, if I absolutely need it, I can go to the council and ask.
but we still need to find out where we're at with this bond
Yeah,
money,
we do.
as far as that, and,
Yeah, because actually, so last week, Tuesday, we went to Jefferson County for agency assist. They were roughly estimating there was like 20 dogs in rough condition, blah, blah, they needed hands to get all these animals out. And I had brought Travis, and he'd lost his radio out there. So he's been without a radio for a week, and then just this morning, were in cages, and they weren't looking for it. So then they found it. So I'll go after this meeting, I'll go meet Paul, the ACO for Jefferson County, and he'll give me the radio. But we looked everywhere. I even went out that evening with Marku, and he let his dog out to try and search the area to try to find the radio, and we didn't have any luck. And I thought, then we were out $2,000 or $3,000 radio. But it was found today, so now we can have it back. And they want a steak dinner, and I told Travis that he's responsible for that. Since he was the one who lost it. But yeah. But we need new radios anyways, these are old and their service sucks
And that was in the bond. Radios were in the bond, the vehicle was in the bond. You know, we got a lot of stuff in the bond, we're just not sure.
Not sure what we did.
Yeah.
What the amount is. Okay. Any new business?
That's it, it's just ordinance and
One thing I had is, I'd like to know how you guys feel, 'cause, you know, we had a conversation, or I had a conversation with somebody in the public about they didn't think it was financially responsible for us trying to save all these animals. You know, doing a quick budget number, out of a $168,054 budget, take out salaries, that facility runs on $33,500, $2,800 a month is what we run on. So saving the animals has not came to a cost to the taxpayers. It's taxed the employees more than anything. You know, I know it's a lot more on you guys. We got a group of volunteers that's been helping try to get these animals out. We've had to shut the facility down a few times to try to get them out. I feel like we've gotten them out, right? I feel like there's been a good progress of that. But I do know there's a fine line that we're not a humane society, we're an animal shelter. But on the other side of that, we've been talking about trying to be proactive instead of reactive, and how do we do these with the spay and neutering clinics, and how do we do this, and how do we not turn into a Christmas puppy drop off, you know, 5 months later. And I think that's where the ordinances have came in. That's where we're trying to do this. But I just would like to know, you know, I know you guys are tired. I know we're trying to figure out how to get the budget up. We keep talking about volunteers, but I don't know how far it's going and what that looks like as a picture to try to alleviate some of this off you guys. But as a board, I think, you know, when people have that discussion, I wanted to make sure we all feel like we're all still on the same page of, feel like we're on the right track, or do we feel like we've crossed the line to where we're turning into a humane society, or is there something we need to be doing different? You know, from the outside looking in, I'm not in there fighting a fight every day on a day-to-day basis, so I don't know what you guys need from your standpoint to make your job easier. To help get these out. I mean, is it help with the kennels? Is it help just, you know, if we do become to a certain point of animals, like what's that look like from a daily standpoint? I mean, how much burden is it putting on you guys? And what can be done to alleviate that?
yeah. Well, I know Kelly would prefer me to put animals down, because then she gets overwhelmed with how much has to be done. More help during the week for her, I guess, would maybe fix her issue with how many animals we have. Because we recently had like 40-some cats. And so we got to the point to where I'm like, okay, so which ones do you want me to put down? Which ones have we not put money in? And which ones were still sick? Because we have medication, antibiotics, to try and treat them. So the ones that had already been on for like 2 weeks to a month, we're like, okay, fine, we haven't put, you know, rabies, we haven't given them vaccines when the vet comes in, and they haven't been spayed or neutered. So the ones that haven't had those specific things are the ones that we decided, okay, we're gonna put some down so that we don't have 40 cats. And so I think right now we're down to 28, I think.
And we put in our policy 24,
I think it was
23.
24, somewhere roughly around in there.
So we did have a number, because we know it's just overwhelming. There comes
Right.
a point that,
Yeah, well, and then it's hard, because then like they come in and they're just so cute, and so that we don't want to put them down, so then we have them for a while, and then because the circulation, the air sucks, especially in the cat room where we keep the kittens, it
They
is
all
so
get sick.
small. Like, yeah, they all get sick and they're all sharing it. So then it's like, well, damn, like we like you, but you're sick and you're staying sick. So then that's kind of where we've been deciding to put them down. There's even some cats in there that do not want people to touch them. They're not necessarily feral. Because then we've had them as kittens, but then it's just kind of hard to really socialize them. Magneto, he was kind of a semi-feral when he came in. He's been in our shelter for a year. And he's still pretty much semi-feral. I can go up to him and pet him. He'll dart for outside if Kelly tries. But he still doesn't really like me petting him, but he'll sit there and take it, and he'll kind of hiss at me once, and then I'll just pet him, and then he'll be fine. And once I take my hand, he's hurry up and darts, but he'll at least let me touch him a little bit. But sometimes keeping those animals that long is
Yeah.
it's not fair to them.
Right.
I don't agree with animals living in a shelter forever.
And I know you guys have been working with rescues. We're trying to get as many out as
Right.
possible.
Yeah,
So from
so
a
we
dog
did-
standpoint, like we got 23, 24 on cats we've kind of limited to. But on a dog standpoint, do you feel like we've been getting them out? I know they come in waves.
It does. It's up and down with getting them out, and so then because we have dogs that come in there with behavioral issues, so once we get full is when we kind of decide, okay, like when we put Rex and Boomer down, we knew that they kind of had behavioral issues, and then we tried to introduce them to other dogs. One dog they did okay, and then the other one they completely went batshit and attacked her. So then that's when we decided, okay, we're gonna push it down. But then there's some like Leia. She was completely aggressive to people and animals. Well, we were told she was aggressive to animals, but then she didn't like any of us. It took us a little bit to build trust, and then she was really a great dog. We didn't want to put her down, whether she was adopted or not. She was one that I was going to keep no matter what alive, because she just was a special one. So it's just different with every dog that comes in there, and we get attached to some and some we don't. And then the ones with behavioral, and if we get full, eventually we put them down, or finally somebody feels bad enough and they'll come and adopt it, but then we're still adopting out something with behavioral issues. So,
And I know putting a closure on the shelter or on the animal control, we kind of discussed, even though that is a closure, we still are taking emergency calls. So it's not like we're not giving the county.
When people call us and they want to turn in their animal, we turn them away. We're not taking in owner surrenders right now because we're full. So we're trying to avoid putting animals down, so we're not going to take yours.
And everybody around us does it.
Absolutely. And they take in zero. They don't
Yeah.
even take in strays. They completely close down. But then 2 weeks ago, I took in 5. It was an owner surrender, and I didn't charge them. I went out to their house. It was it was a constant issue. And I'm like, let's just put your dogs in my truck, and I'm going to take them so that they're not an issue for you anymore. They're not a liability for anybody. And because one of the dogs had bit somebody. So, but I talked her into giving me 5 instead of just the one, because she couldn't handle it. I mean, DCS probably needed to be called, because it's just not even, probably the kids shouldn't even been living there. But she let me take those dogs. She kept 2 dogs, because then one of the kids has autism, so he started really freaking out about one of the dogs. But I mean, taking owner surrenders, but we try not to.
So do you feel like, from your standpoint, we're still on the right path?
Yes.
I mean, is there, okay.
Yeah.
I just think that's something we talk about communicating with the commissioners and the council whenever we ask about these budgets. I think we need to educate them on what we're doing and why we're doing it. Because we fielded some calls that first time we closed it down. And I think it was a learning experience for us, and it was just maybe a miscommunication. But they agreed with it, and just letting them know that, we're surrounded by volunteers helping. Our employees the animal control employees are working around the clock trying to get this done. So we can't maintain this though, right? I mean, we gotta get more help, get more volunteers,
Yes.
get the owner surrenders numbers down. I mean, it's just, it's never gonna end. I mean, it's always a constant battle, but I just wanted to ask you, so after that conversation, I want to speak for you guys, saying everything's great, because I know it's not, but
Yeah, so,
that's all I had.
Do you have any approval of any claims? So on the tires, then
well, yeah.
you'll determine which one needs it, and then, like I said, you're probably 1,000 or better, you get
No.
900, so you'll have to pull from making a reverting fund.
Maybe, or I can just move it,
You got laundry, some laundry money, right? So,
She said laundry was zero, but she had other.
Oh, I
yeah,
thought you
it's
meant
the
you
other
had to
supplies. The
spend it.
laundry
You're
one
saying
is-
it's out.
Yeah,
okay.
but what I will try to do,
Carcass removal?
yeah, so motor vehicle is under line item with a 4.
Yeah.
So if I were to pull money, just so I don't have to go to the council, I will pull money from building and repair, because it's also a line item with a 4. 'Cause those I don't have to
You
get
can
permission,
move
I
them.
should just do transfer with the auditor's office. But to go from a line item 2 to a line item 4, then I'd have to wait for a council meeting. Those ones they have to approve. And actually, there's more money in our equipment. I'd probably go from there, not from the building. In our equipment, it's at $1,399.45, which I do need to order 2 nets. 2 of our nets that we have zip tied, so the cats can't get out. So I do need to replace the nets. I
Those
don't
are
have
in the
to-
bond too. I remember I
Yes.
added equipment in there that we keep rotating in for that stuff. So I mean, is that an expense out of the bond? You know, that's kind of the question, is that bond money available for us to use?
I'm sure they want me to use this first, but, yeah.
Well, I think for the 1 and 2 things, but we talked about a capital expenditure for doing it as a program, replacing all this stuff. And then,
So I guess do we need to go ahead and give her permission to proceed with the tires?
yeah, we can just do it up to a certain amount. I mean, you know, just to be safe, up to what, $1,300 on tires? 'Cause I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how much it would be, because I feel like it's not ever been over 700, but it's been a
for
couple years.
4 tires?
4
I
tires,
think
yeah.
so, I mean, they're
I
just,
just got something, less than 1,000, I think, from my phone.
Well, I am buying the wrong tires.
Well, mine were buy 3, get 1 free. Found one of those deals.
So anyway, get your tires.
okay.
Yeah.
I guess what we're saying.
Yeah, and then I mean, again, just that volunteer program, I know we've talked about it, and I'm bad about talking about it, but I haven't done anything to help get it started. I don't know how to get people in there to help Kelly, but I feel, you know, I know you guys go in on Sundays.
I've got
but-
other people that are willing to help too. It's just a matter of, for me, when I get in there, it's whatever's going on that day, what time can I get in there? So a specific time is hard for me.
Right.
Otherwise, I'd have other people that I could coordinate with
Or
on the
maybe we can
weekends.
say, can we find people to fill a
Yeah.
9 to 11 time slot? Is there
Yeah.
anybody come in 9 to 11? And that way Kelly's not wondering when they're coming in.
Right.
She knows from 9 to 11, I'm just using those numbers,
Yeah.
but 9 to 11, they're gonna help clean kennels. So they're gonna take the dogs out while she cleans the kennels, or anything to that.
Oh, we have 2 goats right now.
Well, we
So
don't
I
need,
got rid of those?
so we don't need mowing.
Well, they're very skittish, so they're in the barn, they're not loose on that whole area, because then we would probably never catch them.
Where'd you get these from?
Paris Crossing?
Yeah, Paris Crossing.
I seen a guy on a moped driving past my shop, or on four-wheeler, driving past my shop on South State with 2 goats in the back of a wagon.
They
Yeah.
had them up there
They
on
have
South
them
State.
up there for
Yeah.
sale.
Mhm.
And it was just
Yeah,
full.
he lives out by me,
Right.
not too far down the road.
Yeah.
And then when you said you got 2 goats, I was curious.
They're really pretty, but
Just-
they don't like people, and they're older. I tried looking at their teeth, and even their horns are really worn, and so wherever they were at before, they didn't have anything to where they could care for their own horns. But their hooves are good. I tried talking our maintenance guy into them, but he doesn't want them because they're not castrated.
That's all I had.
Okay. guess we'll adjourn this meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made,
Second.
second, third, fourth, all in favor?
Aye.
Everybody, unanimous.
Thank you.
Now I'll go back and translate all my scribbles.
Yeah.
I do not
That's the
like
worst thing in the world
Yeah.
to do is
Like,
take
dang it,
notes.
Sheriff, a little too convenient for her.
All right. Appreciate it.
No, I did see where Bartholomew County does like a dog walking like a volunteer
Yeah.
thing to come get the dogs. I was like, that would be good if you could get people, because some of those dogs have no idea how to walk
So
on a
our,
leash.
our friend Chad Stacia,
Yeah.
Stacia's cousin, she volunteers there and does the dog walking.
Uh-huh.
That's what they do. They just get them out and get them moving.
Yeah.
I think that's the,
Plus it socializes.
but it's hard to put it on,
Oh,
you
no,
know, like
I-
animal
if
control.
you can
But it's
get
hard to put it on
somebody-
Kelly and all those guys that,
Right.
you know, they, I don't know.
Well, since our little